Reading Lesson 116, Video Part 1. Column 1, Word 1. Repeat after me. Estimate. 2. Tedious. 3. Funeral. 4. Foundry. Let's go through these again. Repeat after me. 1. Estimate. 2. Tedious. 3. Funeral. 4. Foundry. Column 2. Repeat after me. Word 1. Portion. 2. Paralyzed. 3. Provisions. Let's go through them again. 1. Portion. 2. Paralyzed. 3. Provisions. Column 3. New vocabulary. Repeat after me. 1. Estimate. 2. Pitfall. 3. Famished. 4. Tedious. Let's go through them again. 1. Estimate. 2. Pitfall. 3. Famished. 4. Tedious. Let's learn these definitions for these vocab words. Estimate. When you estimate something, you try to determine its size or value. What's another way of saying he tried to determine the value of the painting? He estimated the value of the painting. Estimate. When you estimate something, you try to determine its size or value. 2. Pitfall. A pitfall is a deep hole in the ground. What is a pitfall? A pitfall is a deep hole in the ground. Pitfall. A pitfall is a deep hole in the ground. 3. Famished. When you are famished, you are very hungry. What's another way of saying, because Mark hadn't eaten all day, he was very hungry? Because Mark hadn't eaten all day, he was famished. Famished. When you are famished, you are very hungry. 4. Tedious. When something is tedious, it is boring or tiresome. What's another way of saying watching television is boring? Watching television is tedious. Tedious. When something is tedious, it is boring or tiresome. Moving on to vocabulary review. Let's look at the words in the column. Starting from the top, working to the bottom. Revives. Amid. Bore. Resembles. Apprehensive. Century. Let's review these again. Repeat after me. Revives. Amid. Bore. Resembles. Apprehensive. Century. Now let's try to plug these into these sentences. Sentence number 1. When you're uncertain and afraid, you are what? Apprehensive. When you are certain and afraid, when you are uncertain and afraid, you are apprehensive. 2. When something comes back to life or to a healthy state, it revives. When something comes back to life to a healthy state, it revives. 3. A guard is a sentry. A guard is a sentry. 4. When you make a hole by drilling, you bore. When you make a hole by drilling, you bore. Now please turn to part E at the end of today's story. Logic. Write the answer for items 1 through 5. Here's a rule of logic. Just because you know about one part doesn't mean you know about another part. The following statement by a writer breaks the rule. I can prove this bicycle has the best handlebars of any bike on the road. Here's the proof. This bike has the very best seat available, so you know the handlebars must be the best. What is the whole? The whole is the bicycle. What are the two parts? The two parts are the handlebars and the seat. 3. Which part do you know something about? The part you know something about is the seat. Which part does the writer draw a conclusion about? The writer draws a conclusion about the handlebars. What does the writer conclude about that part? The writer concludes that the handlebars are the best. Now continue on to the next video for today's reading.